They say something like, I'm not queer, I'm disembodied. And I think that line, which is totally Barrows, it's the secret of the movie and the open secret of the movie. It's about their, both of them, incapability of owning their desire. That's what I wanted the movie to be about.
Hello, and welcome back to The Director's Cut, brought to you by the Directors Guild of America. In this episode, an expat American becomes infatuated with a younger man in director Luca Guadagnino's historical romance, Queer. Based on the novella by William S. Burroughs, the film follows William Lee, who recounts his life in 1950s Mexico City among American expatriate college students and bar owners. After he becomes infatuated with a younger man, they both set out to find a hallucinogenic drug in the Amazon that will bring them closer together. In addition to Queer, Guadagnino's other directorial credits include the feature films Bones and All, Suspiria, Call Me By Your Name, A Bigger Splash, I Am Love, and The Protagonists, the documentaries Salvatore, Shoemaker of Dreams, and Bertolucci on Bertolucci, and episodes of the miniseries We Are Who We Are. Following a screening of the film at the DGA Theater in Los Angeles, Guadagnino spoke with director Daniel Scheinert about filming Queer. Listen on for their spoiler-filled conversation.
Yeah, another round of applause. What a wild, beautiful movie. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I don't know much about the book. I'm curious. I think I heard you read it when you were younger. I'm just curious to hear what it meant to you then and kind of like what then inspired you to dig into it again.
I've been a precocious reader and I was a lonely person, and thought books were a place where to hook. And there was this place called Sellerio. It's a very, very fine, still existing bookshop in Palermo, where I grew up in Sicily. And I found this strange book, with very slim, with the cover was white, but there was a painting that eventually I realized was from George Baselitz. The title of the book was Diverso, different. And there was this name, Burroughs, which was evocative already, per se. So I bought it without knowing anything about it, and then I plunged into it. And the book it's the second book he wrote, but it was published 35 afterwards. And it's has everything about William Burroughs. It has his language, it has his kind of like incredible sense of humor and dryness, but it's at the same time it's very streamlined and classic. After this book, he writes The Naked Lunch, and he goes into his all his experimental books. And in this one, I found the language of the book was really interesting to me in terms of how I could think of a movie that could speak the same language. This was my initial instinct. Probably, though, I must say the description of the love at the core of this movie, of this book, was something that then started to haunt me since then.
Mm-hmm. Whoa! So the love story stuck with you.
Yeah.
You said it was called Diverso?
Yeah,
in
and
Italian?
then they kept the title after they republished Queer.
Does Diverso mean something similar in Italian, or it's because the word queer is so huge to the film? I'm just curious.
Diverso means that you're not equal to anybody else, and that you are in a minority. Let's say.
Yeah,
I think it's reductive to the sense of queer, certainly in the sense of queerness that we can attribute to now, but that's not what Burroughs had in mind, of course.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Great. I love the way you cast your films and also the performances you pull out of that cast. I'm just curious about like to hear a little bit first just about the process of how you approach filling out an ensemble. Like, what are your priorities, or what are you kind of looking for when you choose to?
I think like the point is that you always have to find the unique embodiment of the characters. And also because it's an iconic character, William Lee, it recurs in all these Burroughs books. It has to be iconic at the same time, the performer.
Yeah.
And I'm quite ambitious, but I wasn't daring to think of Daniel in the first place. It is my agent who suggested the name, and I felt like, oh, of course, but he's never gonna say yes. And eventually he said yes pretty immediately. Like, he read the script, and then we had a very beautiful chat. We both agreed that the movie was about a love story, not an unrequited love story. And on the ground of this ambition to make a very strange and complex love story unfold, we partnered. The other instinct I have is to discover people. I like to find people, and Drew is that in a way. Like, I didn't know he was in a TV show for Netflix. I had seen him on a self tape for another project, and a friend of mine showed it to me. Then I met with him, and I found him arresting, and I thought, this is the guy. So we went through a casting, but eventually we were always coming back to him. Then we went to shoot the movie in Italy, in Cinecittà. And I think day 3, day 4 of shooting, I was coming off of the gates, and I see this group of girls screaming, and I think, oh, okay, we have Daniel's fans. They were actually Drew fans.
Whoa!
And I realized that Outer Banks was something. So that's where I discovered that I didn't know anything, basically.
Yeah.
And the third instinct is to hire, to find, to invite back people that I am friend with, that I done things together with. And in this movie in particular, I did something that I like to do: invite colleagues to play. Because in Bones and All, I had David Gordon Green, and here I have 3 directors.
Okay, I spotted David Lowery.
Yes, and there is the great Lisandro Alonso from Argentina.
Yeah.
And then Ariel Schulman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I know I have some director friends that I think would make great actors. I love this. That's fun.
I love directors.
Then you just get to like hang out with filmmakers you like too.
Yeah. And exchange neuroses.
Yeah.
Name of pills that you have to use for your gastritis, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's always the same conversation. So what do you use?
Yeah. Has it ever backfired? Have you ever been like, oh my God, I wish this director wasn't here right now?
No.
That's great. That sounds very warm.
Who knows me knows that I partner in my life, in my sentimental life, only with directors.
Yeah.
I'm not fishing for, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Whoa. Have you worked with Jason Schwartzman before?
No, but I dreamt of working with him. I wanted him to play the cook in I Am Love.
Mm-hmm.
So Tilda is tall, Jason is not. And I was almost stalking him, and he was saying, no, I don't want to do it. And then I just gave up, and I cast Edoardo Gabriellini. And when I approached him for this, he said, sure. And then I said, okay, you see, there's 15 years in the making. And he said to me, I couldn't not do it because it would have been ridiculous. Fun. I love him.
He's so good in this. I've never seen him play a role like it. Is the character written like that, or did y'all build that character together? He's just such a charming.
Well, it's written like that in the book.
Yeah.
He's a sort of like, they're like sort of comic duo.
Yeah.
They do these routines, and they have this dry irony about their lovers and their routines in Mexico City. And Jason one day came to me and said, do you remember The Last Waltz, the documentary by Scorsese on the band? And I said, yeah. And he showed me a clip of one of the musicians, I think is the drummer, who had a very strange way of talking. And I think he modeled his character from that.
That's great. That works so well sometimes, just to pick a person and be like, let's go. Yeah. When you're working with actors, or for this movie in particular, was it like really tightly scripted? It feels so like kind of loose and like these moments, and I kind of can't even imagine the screenplay watching it sometimes. I'm just kind of curious.
Thank you. I like that. I love screenplays, but I love screenplays that disappears in the movie when the movie's made.
Yeah.
No, this is a great screenplay by Justin Skuriksis. Great screenplay.
Yeah.
We really stuck to it very much.
Wow. So like, did you talk when y'all were adapting it about the first hour? I just was struck with like how little dialogue there was, or how many scenes would just have like a line that almost felt like not important, and it was really the blocking and that told the story. Was that like something y'all worked together, or is that pulled from how the book is kind of written?
No, I think the idea is that this is a sort of haze, that you are in a sort of daydream, and that everything in the movie is from the mind of these characters. It's not an actual period drama that you are watching. You're watching a trip in the mind of William Lee and Eugene Allerton. So the way in which the space has had to work in relationship with the way of these people had to behave was the most important thing in a way.
Yeah, I felt high watching it long before any tripping.
Yeah,
just like hanging out in the bar, I felt like I was drunk, like trying to keep up with where I was. Yeah, it's really effective. Speaking of which, like the aesthetics are so specific and interesting, and I'm just kind of curious, what was the conversation like as y'all built what it would look like?
I wrote a script of the book when I was like 20, and I didn't have the rights, of course. I was just megalomaniac, and but not so much because I did the movie eventually.
Yeah, you set your intention,
drive, and I think I wrote in the first page, it has to be set in an imaginary world, not in a realistic world. That was my instinct. Then I met my production designer, who's here. Please, Stefano, stand up. And Stefano, this is his first feature film. And before then...
Isn't that crazy? He told us that backstage. First, congratulations, sir.
Yeah. And we've been working together in interior design. And then when the opportunity came of this movie, I felt like two things had to happen. One is to create this world of Burroughs as a sort of projection of Burroughs more than a period drama scenario. And also to make it in a place that, as a cinephile, and not just Italian, but in general, I wanted the ambition to do it, which to shoot on a proper stage. So we took over Cinecittà and we built everything there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we try to have the approach of two great filmmakers that I adore, that are Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger. So like Black Narcissus and The Red Shoes, Tales of Hoffman, to have this idea of artificiality and own it. But at the same time, to make the artificiality become the actual reality of the characters, so that eventually, instead of feeling out of it, you're completely immersed in it. I mean, I don't know if we succeed, but that's what we try.
Wild. How much is like visual effects as opposed to like rear projection and miniatures? Like I really couldn't tell, but I could tell that there were real things.
We had a lot of miniatures, and when we didn't have miniatures, we then played with the imagery so that it looked like miniature.
Yeah.
And we had we at the beginning,
like is the car shot like you created a miniature effect with CGI?
Yes.
It works. Yeah. It felt like little toys. Yeah.
We did those were miniatures, and then we animated the miniatures in CGI.
Oh, yeah.
And expanded it. At the beginning of the process with Stefano, we thought, let's do the old-fashioned backdrop painted. So we tested it, and it was quite beautiful, but it wanted a very precise and focused idea of shots for everything. Mm-hmm. But because I liked the idea that performance is leading my movies, I didn't want to do that. Because that would have obliged Daniel and everybody else to stick to a place that the camera had to be. And so we renounced. And then we deferred these to later when we had to do the post-production. And we wanted to have the feeling of a matte painting or glass painting by using digital. So a lot of these backdrops has been drawn and then by hand and then put digitally against the build.
Yeah. It works. It creates such a texture. I find like, CGI that's trying to do realism, like is so hard and the end result's fine. But to do something painterly, it really felt like I was in a strange world. How cool. Would you do it again? Like, was there anything about it that was a lot harder than you expected in the process? Or
No. I mean, it was hard to work in Italy because it's difficult for me. Now I'm totally Anglo-Saxon in my mind now. So it's, go to Italy and you understand what I mean. So it was exotic to me to work in Rome.
It was exotic to be back?
Yes.
Wow.
But apart from that, no.
Yeah. Cool. I agree. I love working that way. As far as like the story you're telling, like choosing to make this movie, like a lot of times I feel like I'm making a movie that I wish was out there. Like I want to see this kind of story. Do you have that kind of drive with this story? Was there something you were like hungry to put in a movie that you didn't see enough of, or I don't know. I felt.
I don't know. That's a very interesting question because it tells. Do we make movies in order to see the movies we wanna see? I don't know. Maybe no. Yes and no, because I love to see films that I would not be able to do from other filmmakers. I love the capacity of cinema to be surprising and to show me things the way I don't know things can be told. At the same time, it's true that maybe the instinct could be that you want to share a feeling. Mm-hmm. That you want to bring, you have the opportunity, given the means and the cast, to bring to life a feeling that you want to transmit to the audience or to someone in particular. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, for me, I felt like there was a certain kind of sexuality and romance that I hadn't seen in a movie, but that felt relatable, like someone wanting to understand. What does he say? Not telekinesis. He says, "I want to understand." Telepathy. Sorry.
Telepathy.
Yeah, like to be like, oh, I'm with this distant person, and I just want to know them. I want to know them so bad. That was such an interesting, cool.
Well, they say something like, "I'm not queer, I'm disembodied," and I think that line, which is totally Barrows, it's the secret of the movie and the open secret of the movie, the figure in the carpet, to quote Henry James, is about their both of them incapability of owning their desire completely. One is going off with the substances he take in order to control the pain of the projection of a rejection more than the rejection itself. And the other one is incapable of dealing with his own repression and is shielding himself in order not to be too close, because maybe the closeness makes him feel too alive and out of control. And that's what I wanted the movie to be about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful. That just reminded me of like just their sequence together on drugs, and like I remember seeing the choreographer getting credited and kind of thinking about the choreography process. What was that like on
that was a good tool, because I hired this couple of choreographers that are like serious people. Like they've been for 11 years chief choreographers in Amsterdam, Sol Leon and Paul Lightfoot, great artists, and they were so humble. They say, "Sure, we come and do it." But what happened is that they started to rehearse in New York with Drew and Daniel way before they came to Italy to prepare for the movie, which triggered a level of complicity and intimacy between the two of them, that once they got to Rome and they were a few weeks before shooting, what they call chemistry was totally there.
Yeah.
Because they spent like weeks rolling almost naked in a gym.
Yeah.
and being completely unconscious about being ridiculous or anything.
Yeah. So it was kind of like an accidental rehearsal process to do choreography.
Yeah, an intimate bit for them, because it was between them and the choreographer, that they didn't have the judgment of the director there.
Yeah.
So when they came, I found them so already united. That was beautiful.
Oh, how cool. Was there a reason you picked this choreographer? Was there something you were looking for, or something y'all talked about trying?
I'm very much in. I love theater. I love dance very much.
Yeah, Suspiria has some of the best dance sequences.
Yeah, and the guy from Suspiria, Damien Chalet, ended up making the choreography of Emilia Perez now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that Sol and Paul have a very beautiful, tender, humanistic approach. Their dance is always very contemporary in the feelings. You can see what we feel. It's not like cast in the idea of ballet or movement. It's really intimate, and I love that.
Yeah, that comes across. Okay, so the music is so huge and so many wild choices. Like, I guess similar question, like how much did you know going in about how you wanted to score it, or also it's so soundtrack heavy, or did you discover that through the process? No,
there was a couple of big threads that I wanted to pull. One was the idea of this movie to be in a sort of place where it could be bridging generations together. Burroughs has always been a bridge. He was the oldest of the big generation people, and all the kids, all the younger writers, they were seeing him as a role model. And then in time, he became more and more of a role model. And then in the 90s, he became worshipped by this young, amazing artist that was Kurt Cobain. And they stayed friends until Kurt Cobain committed suicide. So I thought that the Nirvana music was a sort of like testament of the profound sense of love that was in Burroughs. In fact, I spoke to Oliver Harris, who is the great scholar of Burroughs, and he agreed with me that Burroughs is a tender writer, and that Queer in particular is a very, very intimate portrait of someone in anguish for love. And Nirvana, at least the songs that we use, are very much into that. And then, like from the Nirvana, I went to see Sinead O'Connor performing the Nirvana. That beautiful cover is a cover that she made the day in which she heard that Kurt Cobain committed suicide. She took the guitar and started to sing All Apologies. And I put together a canon of the kind of musician that could be seen as terminal and youthful, like Prince, and of course the New Order. Parallel to that, I regrouped with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, with whom I've made already at the time 2 movies, and we are really close, and I admire them so utterly, and the range of their possibilities it's so vast.
Yeah,
and I told them, like Queer is the last novel of Burroughs that stays in a place between classicism and experimentalism. I think the score should play in the same canon, and you should listen back to Schoenberg before he discovers the decaphony. So they had to spend a long time into that space, not to copy it, but to understand that. And then, Challenger's score was a month and a half. This one was like almost a year to get it made.
Oh, wow.
It took a long time. That was beautiful. And then the song that you hear in the finale, it's a song that Trent and Atticus wrote, and the lyrics are from the journals of William Burroughs. This is the last entry in the last diary of William Burroughs, 3 days before he dies, and the last word that he wrote was love, the word love. So we knew that we were on a good lead. And then we invited the amazing Brazilian singer Caetano Veloso to sing with Trent and Atticus.
Yeah. Wow, how cool.
Yeah.
So was it, so it sounds like you went into it with some ideas, and then you were just continuing to make music and discover music. Like
they were making music, and it took a process to get there.
Yeah.
Because it was very elaborate. I asked them to be hyper romantic and at the same time to have this idea of early 20th century music,
Yeah.
but with their sensibility, of course.
Yeah. Cool. You were just saying backstage that you were editing a new movie pretty quickly. Was this one a pretty quick edit? I mean, I was saying I edited Everything Everywhere for about a year.
No, this one
my standards
was
are
long.
weird.
It took a long time to do.
It did.
Yes.
Yeah. Was there a reason? Were you kind of like searching to crack?
Because
something?
we were asking ourselves, do we have to, like, we really obviously have a tremendous love for the book.
Yeah.
But then, you can't make a movie that is driven only by that. The movie has to be driven by the story and by the characters. So eventually it was about giving up the faithfulness to the book and really going deep into the essence of the book, which was about the love story between Lee and Allerton.
Yeah.
So that was about letting things go.
Mm. So you had to let some stuff go and edit that. That's always hard.
Oh, very hard.
I like to ask people, like, if there's like an unsung hero of your crew, like, is there some part of the process that ended up being harder than you thought, or someone who came in and like saved the day that doesn't usually get talked about in Q&As?
Stefano, for sure.
Okay, great.
And Matt Marks, the prop master of this movie.
The prop master.
Genius.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm.
And he created so much for it.
Yeah.
Every little details you see is Matt and Stefano and I conceiving it. But Matt is young and feverish and competent in a way that is astonishing.
Yeah.
All the pages of manuscript you see, they've been made by hand by Matt, whose girlfriend is an incredible calligraphist, and she copied the calligraphy of Burroughs painstakingly. Incredible. But not only that,
yeah, so she tried to match his handwriting.
She did match.
Wow.
We showed to the estate, they were like, wow.
Oh, how cool. Yeah,
we're selling them now, like originals.
yeah, let's sell those. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you can kind of tell that there's so much attention to detail. Like even I like loved the opening credits, just like wrinkly bed sheets.
Well, because it's about bed, like the lovers.
Yeah, but like even just the sheets you chose, like kind of, like I was instantly kind of intrigued by this.
That's Matt.
Yeah, how cool. As you talked about, like y'all working together on interior design, like. Did you meet Matt that way as well, or
no? Matt was prop master on Bones and All. Then Challengers, so he went from cannibals to tennis to heroin addict. Homosexuals.
Yeah, you're keeping people on their toes.
He also went to do a couple of Wes Andersons.
Yeah. Wow, how cool. Do you find like doing other art on like interior design work, et cetera, like informs you as a filmmaker? Do you have?
I like craft very much.
Yeah.
It's exhilarating, the feeling of doing things and make them happen and become.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Mm.
The difference is that one is about the specific place and one is about the imagery. Mm-hmm. Of course, I prefer the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there do you ever like do bad art just to like humble yourself? I find I love to like just do something on the side that's garbage but it seems like you're pretty good at a lot of things.
Well, internet, the Daily Mail, things like that, reading those.
Yeah. That humbles you.
Doing like election night in Italy.
Yeah.
That was a bit tough.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah.
I cook.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Badly?
No.
No, sounds like I bet you're so good. Okay, let me see.
But I'm terrible at music, for instance. I cannot do sports.
Yeah.
But I don't do it, but that's it.
No sports, no music?
I mean, if you ask me to sing, it's a disaster. No, I can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even, do you do karaoke or?
I did a few times to embarrass myself, yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Did you ever do it like with your crew? I get a weird kick out of like embarrassing myself in front of the crew.
No.
Yeah.
I'm the last, I'm the first to come to set and the last to leave on the day of the shooting, but I never attend the parties.
Yeah.
I go to sleep.
Yeah. That can be stressful.
Yeah, too much.
That's their opportunity to flirt. You know, you don't want to go ruin the party.
No.
That's what I feel sometimes.
Also because if I know, then I become upset.
Yeah.
Because I'm a control freak. What do you do?
Yeah. You're drinking too much. We have work. Okay, cool. You're so busy. Do you like that? Do you just love work? Or do you feel like you're ever too busy?
I mean, I'm terrified of becoming boring. Yet another one from people. So you have to tell me, should I slow down?
No, keep going. You know, it's so exciting.
Thank you. I mean, I did a movie called I Am Love in 2008, and then we released in 9/10 here on 2010. I got beautiful warmth from this beautiful community. Mm-hmm. And I got much interest on what I wanted to do and many proposals. But strangely, I discovered what we call development hell. Mm-hmm. So I spent like the following 4 years waiting. Then I did Bigger Splash. So after that, I said to myself, I don't want to be there, and I will try everything I can not to be there again in my life. That's why I keep working. Mm-hmm. Or it's the Ridley Scott law. Ever shoot a movie before you release the previous one. You never know.
Wait, say that again?
You know, Ridley does shoot a movie or prepare a movie before he's releasing the previous one.
Yeah. Which you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I need to learn this lesson. I might ask for more tips backstage.
Okay.
I'm going so slow. Yeah, I'm.
It so helps excited. That I have that I don't write, and then I have beautiful writers to work with.
Yeah, and you did 2 with
Justin.
With Justin.
Yeah, we were on the set of Challengers, and we were actually filming the movie when I gave him the book.
Yeah,
because I just gotten the rights, and I said to him, "Write it now." I wrote it while shooting, and Amy Pascal was like, "What are you doing?" Jealous.
So he was on set over there, just working on queer.
I mean, working on Challenges, but also typing here.
How great! Yeah,
yes.
Keep him busy.
Yes.
How cool! I think we've talked for our time, but I've had so much fun picking your brain.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for
coming. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks for listening to another DGA Q&A. The Director's Cut is available wherever you listen to podcasts. And please share, subscribe, rate, and review. We'd love to hear your feedback, and you can help fellow film buffs find the show. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time. This podcast is produced by the Directors Guild of America.